All right, hello everyone. My name is Don Eastus. It's 6:30 on Monday, November 25th, and I'll call to order the regular scheduled meeting of the Guilford Selectboard. We'll start by asking Brenda to read the rules of procedure.
Okay. The Select Board, as required by law, conducts meetings in accordance with the Vermont Open Meeting Law, 1 VSA, Section 310 to 314, except as provided in Section 313 of that title. At these meetings, the public must be afforded reasonable opportunity to give its opinion on matters considered by the Select Board, so long as order is maintained. Such public comment is subject to the reasonable rules established by the Chair of the Select Board, 1 VSA, Section 312H. While the law clearly establishes the right of public participation, that right is not without its limits. The statute reads, "At an open meeting, the public shall be given a reasonable opportunity to express its opinion on matters considered by the public body during the meeting, as long as order is maintained. Public comment shall be subject to reasonable rules established by the chairperson." The Secretary of State's Municipal Division words it this way: "The public comment period is not a free-for-all. The board chair may establish reasonable rules to maintain order, and reasonable limitations on the amount of time for each speaker are not unusual or improper. Simply put, the Vermont statutes are there to set a constructive and civil meeting, so let's have one."
Thank you, Brenda. Thanks very much. All right, welcome everyone. I just want to check and make sure that we're in good line. I see. Okay, good. I can see everyone saying. Elliot, probably we need to see your first and last name. We can by checking out whether you're muted or not, but
Elliot
Mitchell. I think
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah,
All right.
he's there.
Okay, thank you. There are no changes to the agenda order at this moment, so we'll move right ahead. This is the section of the meeting, our first section of public comment. If there's anything that anybody wants to say.
I think Linda Hecker wanted to offer one, but I don't remember whether she wanted to do it at the beginning or the end.
I will ask her to unmute.
All right, so we're offering 10 minutes,
Hi.
of time for the community at this point. So ask each speaker to.
Hi. Oh, hi. Yes, I would like to make a public comment. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Conservation Commission, we would like to make a brief comment on the agenda item about appointing a new tree warden. We realize that this position was left vacant by our retiring road commissioner, Dan Zumbruski. And we worked very closely with Dan and the road crew, very collaboratively, when on important roadside tree issues like the emerald ash borer. And we realized that the duties and responsibilities of the tree warden have just grown increasingly complex and challenging over the years. And we fervently hope that the person who is appointed will be somebody who has knowledge and expertise and cares about the health of the trees along our rights of way. And those trees also impact erosion. They work for traffic calming. They filter water, so that it works both ways. We take care of the trees, and the trees help to take care of our town. So again, we'd just like to say that we intend and look forward to working very closely with whoever is appointed tree warden. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
you.
I hope we'll be able to supply you with a nice dose of confidence later this evening. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Is there anything else anybody else in the community would like to say at this moment?
I would just like to make a Steve Lumpke River Road, part of the Green River Village Preservation Trust. So if you get your singing voices all lined up and go through the carols, you join us for the Green River Carol Sing on December 22nd. It's this last Sunday before Christmas, and it's at 5 o'clock at the Green River Church. Michael Mario will lead the service again, and Bill McKim will be playing the organ this year.
Okay.
And we may or may not have some group from the school and other things, but that's a little early to decide all of that right now. So, but it's December 22nd, 5 o'clock at the church. It's a really family-oriented service, so feel free to bring kids. The little kids will be ushers, and there will be some basic holiday treats and cider after the service. So.
Thank you.
Great.
All right, we will move ahead now. There's, just to make sure everyone understands, there's another opportunity for public comment on any topic at the end of the meeting, or toward the end of the meeting. All right, we'll move ahead to approval of the minutes of the last meeting. That would be the regular meeting of November 13th.
I so move.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Is there any comment or discussion at the select board here about those? Okay, since we're all here together, Chip is not here tonight, we can, I'll say all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, thank you. We'll move ahead to the finance portion of the meeting, and we'll approve warrants. And tonight, Veranda will be presenting those.
Okay. I move that we pay the following warrants. Payroll week 11/17/24 for the sum of $8,630.42. Payroll week 11/24/24 for the sum of $12,986.01. Expense warrant number 2510 for the sum of $65,608.79. Expense warrant number 2510T for the sum of $6,186.71 for a total of $93,411.93.
Okay, I will second that. And I'd also like to offer a friendly amendment at this time. I'd like to, bear with me, I'll just explain quickly. The select board by statute, in order to collect delinquent taxes, the select board by statute needs to approve a warrant that's been handed to us by the treasurer, which lists all the taxes that are about to be collected or noticed. And once the select board approves this warrant, which is not a warrant to spend money, it's actually a warrant to collect money. Once we approve it, then it goes to the collector of delinquent taxes. So because it's a warrant, although it's not a finance warrant in that regard, the way ones we're used to, but it's a warrant to collect money, I'd like to add it to the warrants, if you're comfortable. So I make the motion that we include this as one of the warrants on this meeting.
I'll second.
Thanks, Tara.
And so do we need to vote on the amendment first?
Yeah, so
Okay.
are there any questions about this, so we can then move back to the warrants? Are there any the standard warrants, are there any questions about this delinquent warrant?
Can I see it?
Yeah, sure, it's in the amount of $614,947. And so it covers.
That's the amount of delinquent tax that needs to be collected?
Yes, from 2012 to 2024.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So you may recall that when Penny was here, she was adept at keeping delinquent taxes down as she developed a program, and Ellie is essentially doing the same thing, and this is the way that she's doing it, and following statute, as Ellie is, of course, wanting to do, and should be wanting to do. She's preparing this document for us, which just lists all the taxes.
So are we moving item C from?
No,
that's
that's not what this is. That the item C is a policy article, not this is it's
So this just gives the
basically,
delinquent tax collector permission to go ahead and
Right,
collect?
exactly.
Okay.
yeah, the select board has to authorize once we hear from the
Taking
treasurer
steps.
how much is required to take the steps, we have to authorize the delinquent tax collector, and this is the way we do it,
Okay.
we think. This is the way we have, we're following statute.
Okay.
Yeah, we think this is the way we're doing it. So I'm not even certain that the select board actually has to sign off on this. Just the fact that we know about it might be enough. But I think it's important for us to sign off on it, just to say that we understand.
Are aware.
We're
And
aware
and
that this is
approve
going
and
to be
agree.
happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want this work to happen.
Mhm.
Is there any further discussion about this?
We're
Is it
lucky
in-
we have Ellie as our delinquent tax collector.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be effective and compassionate.
So, thank you. So I think that I'll ask all those in favor of approving this amendment, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, now we go back to the warrants.
Okay, so shall I add some details?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, here are some details of the warrants that are in front of you. Lots of the highway getting ready for winter and general maintenance. $1,622 for tires for 2 trucks from Chesterfield Tire. $2,137 for inspection and maintenance for 2 trucks. $2,005 for Northeast Municipal repairs for 2 trucks. $1,209 to Royco for DEF and transmission fluid. And the big one was approved at the last meeting for the emergency management ARPA purchase of the solar batteries, which was $39,186.
And I have something else to say
Okay.
about the final warrant here, 2510T.
Mhm.
That is, that's $6,186.71, and that is tax overpayments. Those are refund checks basically from people, to people who overpaid their taxes for whatever reason.
Oh,
All right.
Another
Okay.
project Ellie's been working on.
okay, thank you.
Are there any questions for Veranda or anything about the warrants? Things clear enough? All right, so all those in favor of approving these warrants, please say aye.
Aye.
Although anyone saying no? Anyone abstaining? All right. Thank you. We'll move ahead then to updates and reports, and we will hear first from our town administrator. So yours.
All right, so some highlights of the last 1.5 weeks since our last select board meeting. We had another budget workshop, that was the second one we had last Friday. The next one will be Thursday, the 5th at 8:30 a.m. And the following one, hopefully the last one scheduled anyway, is December 19th at 1 p.m. All in the town office and on Zoom. I did a bunch of reporting to VTrans this past week. The guys did some bridge work on, remember those bridge reports that we got about the bridges that needed some work, and they did some temporary fixes to stave off any trouble until next summer, and it looks really good. It looks like they could really get away with it. Just leaving it like that, but I reported that work to VTrans, and I haven't heard back from them yet about that. They probably will still want further repairs done in the summer, but we'll find out what they say. And the ditching on Stage Road, also I sent in all the paperwork to get reimbursed for that. Ellie and I had a meeting with the town auditors to talk about the town report, which is coming right up because town meeting is on March 1st
Yep.
next year. That's my opportunity to remind you all. I I posted a notice of our select board chair Zon's resignation from the select board on the website to see if anybody wants to volunteer for that position. And the deadline is December 1st. We did get a new highway crew member started. He started today.
Oh, great.
What is his name?
His name is Josh Griffiths.
Griffiths?
Griffiths.
Griffiths.
Yes. Yeah, with a U,
Oh,
not
yeah.
like, Sam.
Oh, yeah, Sam
Yeah,
Griffiths. Yeah.
different spelling. And this last thing is that Ellie and I had a long phone conversation with the HR person from VLCT about a question about benefits that just sort of started a whole big long conversation, but we're I think some of this information may find its way into a personnel policy update at some point. So. it's
Does
just-
it have financial implications for the next budget, are you imagining?
No,
Okay.
just personnel policy
I see.
stuff. Yep,
I see someone.
yes.
Is that it?
Yes, I'll be done now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank you,
Yes,
Erica.
yes, yes.
A lot.
Yes. All right, so we have our highway commissioner's not here, current highway commissioner's
No,
not
he
here.
did
I'm
dance.
still
here.
Still it for.
What?
And
I thought
November
December,
30th is
No.
this
November
Saturday.
30th. Okay,
Oh,
that's probably my
Dan
fault.
had
You're
work to
good.
do all week.
That was a
Just
dress
easy to
rehearsal.
forget.
So let me request.
I've forgotten already, oh my God.
What are you doing here?
I come over here.
I'm very sorry. I know
I
that.
come over here to,
You can plow him in it.
say this is my last meeting as the highway representative.
Stand up. Thank you, Dan.
And I wanted to thank everybody for all the support over the years. Everybody's been great to work with. So,
Well,
I just wanted to come over and say this is my last meeting. I'll still pop in every now and then just to see what's going on and see what's happening, so.
yeah.
But, as Erica said, your new employee started this morning. I've been taking him out. I'll do it again tomorrow. Take him out and show him the roads where we plow and where we stop and, to learn all the roads, so.
Good.
But other than that, I mean, Jimmy's gonna do a great job. He'll be fine. I got a lot of faith in him,
Great.
so.
So I hear we're having wintry mix tomorrow morning.
We could, with whatever, see what happens.
You're gonna be out dealing with the wintry mix, or you done with wintry mix?
No, I'll probably, matter of fact, I didn't get a chance to talk to Jimmy to see if he wants to deal with it or if I gotta deal with it, so. But, yeah, somebody will be out.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. I was just wondering about
Okay.
your involvement, whether you see the wintry mix and you sleep in, or whether you're gonna be out there.
Oh, as I told Erica this morning, I said, it's gonna be a little different for a while, cause,
Thank you.
instead of getting up at 4 o'clock, my first day off when I retire, I may get up at 4:30. So, but yeah, I'll still,
So,
for the weekend, and I'll be around. But I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here in town. I'm just gonna take it easy, just relax, and so that's about it.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Thanks so
Honestly.
much.
Hopefully you see him driving a Vermont Roadworks truck in the picture.
Oh, I see. A consultant, huh?
Yeah,
Is that a conflict of interest?
No, it's not.
So you may notice we just had to stop the recording of the meeting. We were just hacked, is that the right
Zoom
word?
bombed.
We were Zoom
no kidding,
bombed.
wow.
What does
And
that
I'm
mean?
glad we were all paying attention to Dan. There was some
Yeah.
pretty disgusting stuff happening on the
That's
screen.
been
Really?
happening
Really?
around the region. People,
Yeah.
that's been happening, yeah.
So
So,
that was
Did
really
you miss it?
interesting.
I missed it.
It wasn't worth seeing.
It wasn't, no.
No.
So this person, I don't know who that is.
You all
no, I wouldn't let them
What,
in.
what was it?
Oh,
It
I don't
was
know,
a-
we
it
all
was-
missed it.
It
It
was
was
a
pornographic.
psychedelically
Oh, my
pornographic.
Did you say psychedelic?
It was all blurry. I didn't know what it was.
Recording in progress.
Oh,
Myself.
is that part of the same thing?
No.
No.
So we'll wait just a moment till we let all the appropriate people
It's
in.
called wild, weird stuff.
Okay, so here's somebody that I don't know who it is.
I wouldn't let them in.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is the name on it?
Glavios R.
So what happened was about 10 people came in.
More than that.
Oh, more? I don't know.
15 at least.
And they all had like just one name, and so she just said, and then we saw what it was, and so we were advised to turn the meeting off. So folks that are online now, we had a little glitch there, and hopefully other folks will come back in as we go along. All right.
Have you ever seen that before?
Huh?
Erica, have you ever seen that before?
No, but Peter obviously has.
Oh,
I have.
huh.
Yeah.
You have? Wow.
And what is that called?
Zoom bombing.
Zoom bombing. That's the official term.
And what do you call it?
Obnoxious.
Okay.
Obscene.
Yeah.
A waste of time.
Waste of time, yeah. Okay, thanks, Dan. We'll move on now to old business. Take a few minutes to talk about the ARPA funds. And just to say it for everyone's understanding, the American Rescue Plan Act, that's what these ARPA dollars are, brought around $650,000 into Guilford. Guilford has a responsibility, as does every town and county in the nation, to have all of those dollars obligated, actually obligated by the end of December this year. And then we have all of the towns and counties have obligation to have spent the dollars by December of 2026. Guilford's on good track, but we're going to talk for a few minutes, Select Board, about the remaining funds that we have and some ideas for getting the number to zero. Because any dollars that we don't spend, we have to return to the federal government. So
I'm going to share my screen with the spreadsheet.
there it is over on the second left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here, ARPA.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so you'll see our bottom line here in the blue.
So, yeah, we can't see the blue here, but
Just
it's
the unencumbered.
Yeah.
unencumbered dollars
Unencumbered
available at this point are $11,814.75. That's money that we have neither identified a project for or money that we have spent. All of the dollars that came into Guilford have been either already paid for or are ready to be paid, or waiting to be paid for.
Yeah.
Through prior obligation.
Yeah, so there's just a few projects with outstanding expenditures to be made. The remainder of the Du Bois and King award has been reallocated to the Planning Commission's Guilford Guide project.
Correct.
I think that's
Great.
moving along
It is moving along.
and should be ready to spend that almost $6,000 by the end of December. Emergency management, you remember Dan got all his portable heating and cooling equipment, and there's $1,600 left on that, which he would like to use for accessories for that stuff, extension cords and things like that, power strips. And he has a plan for that amount of money.
So do I understand correctly that the gold numbers up in the spreadsheet equal that 24,000, that gold number below, $24,466.14? It looks like they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And that's what then, that adds up to the total amount that we have encumbered or expent at this point, which is $625,324. So we have about a little bit less than $12,000 left to spend.
Yes.
So, or encumber.
Well,
There's a slight difference.
Obligate.
Obligate. And obligate is a very technical term from the federal government. It means that we have to actually have a contract or a planned expenditure that's been approved either through contract or by approval of the select board.
Yes, so at this point, I can't say, oh, it would be nice to fix something up on this building and
Right.
It's too late.
figure it out. Yeah, it's too
You're
late
right,
to
yeah.
figure that out. It's either, it's gotta be something I can just, buy with the credit card, for instance, and use the ARPA money to pay for that, or something that's already under contract.
So we've been in touch with Katie Buckley, who operates this program for the state, overseeing all towns, and she's given Erica advice about what sorts of things we might be able to spend these remaining dollars on, and I think Erica has some suggestions for us here.
I do.
So not that we'll need to vote on it tonight,
Yeah.
we'll just hear about it tonight, okay?
Yep, so, I have just a little over $10,000 worth of equipment and things to purchase. There's, if you recall, the select board awarded $20,000 for purchasing the radar speed signs for the highway department, and those are up. And I sorted it out with the company that we would be invoiced before the ARPA period was up for the cloud service contract, which lasts 7 years. And there's anyway, the $20,000 didn't quite make it. There's $1,700 left over in that contract. So that would be something I would do with the remainder there. And an ongoing thing that we're looking at in the town office is security. So we're looking at security for the doors, a different way to get in the building, and cameras. And like I think we talked about this last time, some IT equipment. We have a new highway commissioner coming on, a road foreman. So he's asked for a laptop, so that's great. So I would like to use ARPA funds to do that if possible. And some extra hard drives to do backups because of cybersecurity guidance we've gotten. So that list of things that I just mentioned is about $10,500.
So that leaves about 1,300.
Yep.
All right. How does anybody have anything they'd like to offer about the suggestions that Eric is making? These are all applicable.
Yeah.
They're all fine for us to use ARPA dollars, and they're all things that could be purchased straight away. We don't require a bidding process or a contract.
So what about with the cameras? Are you gonna then have to have a monthly fee for them? Could we do another pay in advance contract with the $1,300?
The camera quote that I got doesn't include a monthly fee, which is kind of weird. So that might be.
Is that with HCRS or not HCRS?
HSS.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with them, maybe we need a special computer for just the cameras to watch, you know what I mean?
Yep, there's a monitor.
Okay.
Yep, there's
Okay, that
it's
comes
the whole
with it.
package, but I had chosen the lowest tier of cloud service, so
Mhm.
maybe there's a reason to choose the next highest up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check it out
Will
before
you
we sign
show
it.
us, will you show us that package?
Yeah, so that, actually, I didn't put it in this week's folder, but it's in an older one, but I can share
Okay,
it with you
yeah.
guys before I totally sign off on it, and we'll
Okay.
be able to talk about it next time.
Yeah, at the next meeting, we will approve this final expenditure. One idea we could do with the remaining 1,300 is we could simply authorize Erica to use her judgment, to use it in ways
Yeah.
that are appropriate. That might be just upgrading this particular contract, for instance, or adding an additional computer,
Right.
hardware, that
Having
kind
an
of thing.
extra laptop, but
Yeah.
are there cameras at the town garage?
I was just gonna mention that, you probably should think about updating
Ooh,
the cameras at the shop,
ooh,
because they're old, and the hard drive is making a lot of noise now.
Oh, okay.
It should be upgraded.
okay,
At my house, I have Ring, And it's $100 fee a year, and it'll go back for the whole. I got 3 cameras at the house, so I mean that's something that's. I think I paid
There you go.
$500 for them for
That
3
was a
of them.
great
so.
suggestion.
Yeah.
And that's why there's no cloud fee. There's no monthly fee because it goes straight to a hard drive.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that,
So,
it could be upgraded.
I
would
got-
there be any?
We got 3 cameras at the shop
Uh-huh,
right now. 2 of them are. They come on, they go off. They come on, they go off. But one good one's working. But as far as recording
So-
back, it won't pick it up. So
Well,
it
there
needs
you
to be
go.
That's
upgraded.
great.
Less than
Yeah.
ideal.
Okay, great.
would there be any reason to have a camera at the old garage?
No, not really. I mean, there ain't really much down here except for cones and signs and
Right,
the
Okay.
chloride tank and stuff like that. But
Rocks.
it's a new garage where you get the fuel pump and
Yeah,
they can
for sure.
break in the building or whatever. So,
Okay, anything, this sounds great. It sounds like there are 3 or 4 reasonable opportunities here, ideas to go forward with. So, what I think we can expect at the next meeting would be that we would see a proposal for the expenditure of $11,814.75, and then we would approve it, and then that would take care of it our ARPA project, which has.
Question about the cameras, I guess. I mean, we have one at the vault now. Did that?
We have the Blink cameras that we got over the summer, so
Okay.
What is it? What are they?
Blink
What is that?
cameras?
Yeah.
it's like a Ring camera. It's the
It's
same.
just
They're-
on the.
Yeah, they're
wall.
just little guys that come on when something's moving.
Right in front of it.
Yeah, so it's
And then
not
they take a
hardwired.
picture of what's going on?
Yes.
I
A
see.
picture, or they start recording?
It records a quick motion
Oh, I see.
thing, but it's not as
Anything interesting happen?
never.
Good.
Thankfully.
So, I mean, can we expand on that system, or is that just kind of a standalone item that like doesn't
Yeah,
really interface
it
with
was
these
sort
other
of a
cameras?
stopgap that we got
Yeah.
over the summer when we needed to, because the hardwired thing was a process to get people in here to look at the building and to get the quotes, but now they're all set, so, I think expanding the Blink notifications, like just go directly to my phone.
Mhm.
So a real system would be hardwired and going to a hard drive in this building. So it's a lot more professional to do it like that.
Should we consider that?
That's what my quote is for,
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah. not for additional, the Blinks are just very, it's nice to have them, and I'm gonna leave them where they are to be backups, but
Okay.
I don't think we need more.
Well, thank you for your diligence on this, Erica. It seems interesting that security is sort of, we started out dealing with personal emergencies,
Right.
COVID emergencies, and now it's kind of the other end of it, of just securing things.
Community preparedness, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else, Select Board? Anything else anybody wants to say? Okay, I think we can move on.
I trust
How
Barry.
do you feel all right about that? Yeah, you can unshare. All right, let's move ahead to new business, and we will consider the appointment of a new tree warden. I guess I'll make the motion. At Danny's recommendation, that the select board would appoint Matt Stinchfield as the new tree warden.
I'll second that.
Great, thank you. Is there any discussion? We need to hear a little bit. Anybody want to?
I think it would be nice to hear from Matt if we were,
All right.
would this be the time to hear a little something from
I
him?
think that would be
Sure,
fine.
love
Sure. Yeah. Great.
You want to
Thank-
just, come take your chair up, come on.
You can have a chair if you want to sit down,
Yeah.
just in the vicinity of that microphone.
Do you know everybody here? I mean, who's
I'm
sitting?
Tara.
Hi, Tara. Michael. Yes, I guess I do.
Yeah,
Matt Stinchfield, Bassett Hill Road.
great.
My background, I've been kicking around Bassett Hill since I was 10. Know a lot of trees. My career's in occupational safety. which includes chainsaw safety training, which I conduct regularly for beginners, intermediate, and advanced people. I'm a trustee in the Wyndham Regional Woodlands Association. I am qualified to cut in the national forests. I hold a U.S. Forest Service chainsaw card. Been through game of logging several times myself. And I'm currently enrolled in the state's 2 courses that they recommend for tree wardens, the tree warden course and the tree disease course, which I'll have completed before the end of December. Also enrolled in Vermont Coverts, if you're familiar with that, which is an organization that's been around for about 30 years, educating people in Vermont about how to create habitat in forest settings. I also grow mushrooms in the woods, and spend a lot of time outdoors. I don't know if you have any questions.
Is there any budget for the tree warden? I mean, either to do the work or to be remunerated?
I talked to Danny about this earlier today. We do have a pretty good budget in the tree. It's for tree removal in the highway budget, but it's just for tree services. We usually use it for Anson Baldwin, but there's typically a little bit left there for a tree warden.
In my research, I found that the tree wardens are often not doing the tree work of tree removals and so forth. They're tuned in with all the public rights of way and the town cemeteries. The real purpose of the tree warden is to preserve shade tree aesthetics more than anything else. So being tuned into where all the public trees are, what trees are suffering from disease, what trees we could mitigate preemptively before they cause damage, and also highlighting the special trees that we have in some of those environments. There's some pretty old special trees. So one thing also that some tree wardens, some communities are involved in a shade tree management plan, but I believe Guilford doesn't have one yet, unless the Conservation Commission might be working on it. So that's a sort of a long-term thing to look at, and whether the tree warden would be involved in that. It's kind of your call.
What does that mean, shade tree management?
Well, it's a more formal way of appraising all of the trees that are in the public right of way, and identifying trees which you might decide to work extra hard to reverse a disease or storm injury cleanup work and that sort of thing. And it also talks about what the community's intentions are in terms of preservation and the tree aesthetics. Yeah, you can probably do without the plan if you're operating on the same concepts of recognizing the tree aesthetics and trying to maintain those. But that's just something in somebody's head, so the plan is more visible.
Thank you.
Well, I know I walk every morning with members of the Conservation Commission, and they're really excited just to support your job and, just figure out whether there are things that you feel they want, everybody should know more about. If there is a recommendation for a plan, why have one and how to do it.
Yeah, I look forward to working with Linda and the Conservation Commission.
Yeah.
And I know they've been doing a lot of that has to do with trees already.
Yeah.
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 Any further questions?
I'm just curious, would the game of logging program have any interest in doing any of the tree removal or taking them down? Or is that too complicated?
The game of logging instructors are all commercial loggers or foresters. So, for example, one of the instructors works for Longview. Longview could be a contractor for the town if, you know. If your question, Michael, is about could training take place in a way that also helps the trees of the community? Probably not. It takes a special stand of trees for game of logging training. No power lines, no buildings, no delicate structures within a falling distance of a tree.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
Just let us question.
Yeah.
More to think about it. So no go.
yeah, it usually requires a pretty big remote stand. Yeah.
How did you even hear about being a tree warden?
I passed Dan on the road one morning and and he put me up to it.
Yeah, I did. I stopped and I was, hey, I got just the job for you. He goes, what's that? And I said,
That's-
you want to be a tree warden? He goes, let me think about it.
trees.
All about trees.
I had two guys that worked for the
Trees
town,
are my
did the
thing.
game of logging with him, so.
Uh-huh.
I see, great. Good, thanks for
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming.
All right, well, we have a motion on the floor and a second to approve the appointment of tree warden Matt Stinchfield. Any further discussion? Ready? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anyone abstaining?
So welcome, to
Yes.
your new official job.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll go get the car magnet right away.
Yeah. There you
Get
go.
together with Jimmy.
Okay, folks, the next item on the agenda is to speak a little bit about Dan Zumbruski's retirement.
Oh, God.
So, Dan, we're going to do this in a public way. The select board has met to talk about a couple of ideas, and we want to just acknowledge it here publicly so that people can know what's happening and watch us as we go through a process. So just listen to us.
Okay.
Okay. So we're in recognition of Dan's 47 years of working here in the town, as he really has devoted his life to this community, and done so at great cost to himself and to remarkable benefit of so many of us in the town. The select board, we spoke in executive session to consider some ideas, and I think we don't have to vote this evening. We probably don't need to, but we want to just get it out to the air, and then perhaps we can vote at the next meeting. That we have two projects in mind. One is that we would like to explore the possibility of renaming Bennett Road as Zumbruski Road. And the second is that we very much like, and we don't need to do a lot of work on this. This can be just the select board doing this. We'd like to name the garage, the town garage, as Dan's Garage. Just have everyone attend. That's how we'll start referring
Need
to
a
it.
sign.
We'll need a sign. Yes, exactly. So. Is there anything anybody else would like to add? It's very simple. These are the actions that we talked about, and we want to just let people know this is what our intention is. And the road naming is a bit of a process
I would
we have
say
to go
go
through.
with
That you're familiar with.
Yeah, right. You've actually assisted us a number of times on that one that I'm aware of. So so that one may take a while. We have to speak with all the abutters, and it's a statutorily driven process. So we'll look at that. And the other one is something we can simply do. So we know that there's also a gathering for Danny on December the 5th in town, in Brattleboro,
At the Elks Home.
at the Elks Club, I think. Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that there wasn't like an email that went out that said to the select board members, can you attend? Because I can attend.
Yeah.
We can't attend because we're gonna be leaving that day for vacation.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
so I'm bummed about that.
Oh, that's too bad. I know the folks that were working, finding the date wrestled a lot to even get to that date. So yeah, but I hear you. It would have been nice if we'd all been involved. All right. Is there any further discussion anybody wants to add or say?
What about Dan's town garage versus Dan's garage? Like it's Dan's town garage.
Sure, whatever. I think we can.
Well, I mean,
That would be that want better.
Yeah, more
You know,
better.
have the
Like-
town, you know, everybody's gonna ask, where's
Right.
the town's garage?
Right,
Or where's
right.
Dan's garage? It's all
Right.
about that.
Right, exactly.
We could just
Right.
name the town after him.
Yeah.
There is already Danville up in northern.
Zumbruski. Where do you live? Zumbruski? Vermont?
Zumbruski, Vermont.
Yeah.
Dan's Town Garage.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
that's
open
a
to that.
really
That
good
sounds a
idea.
bit better.
You're
That'd
right,
be better
Tara.
than doing a road name because you have to change everybody's addresses. Because
What'd you say? What'd you just say?
I said if you named it Bennett Road, Zumbruski Road, then everybody's gonna have to change their mailing address.
It's true.
Yeah, well, that's why we talked to a butters.
Yep, so,
And and it's a process and people get to say what's happening,
no.
whether or not, yeah. So we may not be successful
All right, well,
in that, but we want you to understand the intent of our desire.
all right, yeah.
Yeah. And so we'll see where it goes, but it is a process. Somebody may say, I don't want to change my business cards. Right, yeah, that may be possible.
Do we know who the Bennett of Bennett Road was? Was there a Bennett family that was?
We've done a bit of research.
Yeah, I
and
don't find any Colonel Bennett.
Yeah.
Origins of that
Captain.
name.
Captain Bennett.
Captain Bennett.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, years ago, that road, when I first started, was just a 4-wheel drive road going down there.
Didn't even have a name.
No, it didn't have a name at the
Logging
time.
road. It was
Yeah.
school. It was school road. I looked
Probably-
in the highway book and
It-
it's very vague about.
Oh, where
It was-
in the school, yeah, the driveway for the school probably wasn't called school
Yeah.
road at that
It
point.
was just a 4-wheel drive. It was just
Oh.
a one-way
Oh,
road.
wow, okay. Well, eventually it might be a superhighway.
Well,
You just-
It's a recipe for.
Okay, anything else anybody wants to say? We can talk about this again at the next meeting and make our actions known. If we decide that we want to go ahead, if we vote to go ahead with the renaming process, we have to actually do that as a select board to start that process. So we can plan to do that at the next meeting. All right, we'll move ahead to the next item on the agenda, mandated delinquent tax policy change. We're not going, I'm going to request that we table that. Ellie's not ready to speak about it and deal with it at this point.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for
for everything you've done.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have one comment about that. Ellie
Okay.
wanted you all to know that she and Chip are going to do a webinar that is in early December about this new Act 106 that will change our delinquent tax policy. So after they've done that education, they're going to be ready to talk about it.
Okay, so
To give a webinar, like
They're
just,
attending a webinar.
oh, they're attending one and then they'll educate us. They're not gonna offer a webinar.
Oh, no.
Okay.
They're going to a webinar.
Okay, so we'll table that for this evening. I don't believe there's any other business. Correspondence, I will simply note that the select board did receive actually 2 pieces of correspondence this week. One is my resignation, which is Erica already spoke about, and then the other is a message from Tammy Sargent about wanting clarity on how various appointments, what's the timing on various appointments and elections and things like that. She just didn't understand everything clearly. And there was apparently a typo somewhere that she discovered that now we've corrected that letter into wondering what the questions were. So I think it's worth saying that just so that everyone in the community understands, the letter asked the question, how does the select board decide these things? And the select board simply does not decide any of these things. All of these appointments and elections and term limits are all described and taken care of by statute. So we're simply implementing statute. And in this particular case, on that, there was one typo, we made a mistake. And so that's been corrected. But the select board has very little discretionary power when it comes to any of these appointments or elections. All right, now we come to the next part of the meeting where we have a few moments here for if anyone has anything they'd like to offer in the community. Anything anybody would like to say? All right. Okay, thank you. I will then bear with me as I read the actions of the previous meeting, which was on November 13th. The Select Board approved the October 28th minutes. The Select Board approved payments of warrants. The Select Board disbanded the Finance Committee following this year's budgetary process. The Select Board approved a number of emergency management purchases using ARPA dollars. The Select Board canceled the December 23rd, 2024 meeting. The Select Board agreed to appoint a Select Board member to replace me prior to March 1st. The Select Board approved Erica to start the process of appointing a Select Board member, and the Select Board moved into executive session. There was no action taken following that meeting. The actions taken in this meeting: the Select Board approved the minutes of November 13th. Good night, Steve. The Select Board approved a number of amendment and then to the warrants, and then approved the warrants themselves with an amendment. The Select Board then appointed Matt Stinchfield as tree warden, and I think that's the extent of our actions for this evening. So that means that there is still one more action to take, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
No, I entertain a motion.
He
Will
just
you
wants
take a
the
motion? Will you
entertainment
offer the
of
motion?
you moving it.
Oh, I so move.
All right. Now I need a second.
I will second.
Thanks. All right. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah.
Any abstaining? All right. Thank you all very much. We'll see you again on December the 9th. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Okay, yeah, really.